on three sides by rivers. The Big Sandy River in the east, the Ohio River in the north, and the mighty Mississippi, the father of all rivers, in the west.
Let's ride on over to the Bluegrass region. The Bluegrass accounts for about 1/5 of the state's land area, but half of Kentucky's 3.8 million people live there. That's because the state's largest cities, Louisville and Lexington, are in this region.
Covington is another sizable city that technically is considered to be in the Bluegrass, even though it's right across the river from Cincinnati. Now remember, Ricky, we learned that the Bluegrass is a plain formed by soft limestone rock that's been undermined by groundwater. And that's what causes those pretty roller coaster-like hills. That same limestone is responsible in part for the region being the center of the thoroughbred horse business.
Wow, and talk about dramatic geography. On the western edge of the mountain region, we saw Cumberland Falls, where the Cumberland River drops 68 feet, forming a spectacular waterfall. It's the only place in the western hemisphere where, at certain times of the year, you can see a moonbow in the light of the full moon. Also on the edge of the Cumberland Plateau is the incredible Red River Gorge. Wow, it's the Grand Canyon of the East. The Red River carved out this masterpiece over the course of centuries. And then we ended our cross-state ramble on top of Kentucky's highest mountain.
The region is named for a small blue flower, the pennyroyal, that in old days was made into tea and served as a cold remedy. And not only is it Kentucky's largest region, it has the best farmland in the whole state. People here raise about any plant or animal you can think of.
The knobs are hills with different shapes depending on whether the upper layers of rock are soft or hard. The knobs in Nelson County have softer rock on top, so they look more like upside-down ice cream cones.
Yum, yum. Of years ago, a lot of Kentucky was covered with swamps like this. You didn't believe me when I told you the trees breathe through their knees.
So now I know cypress trees have knees, or roots that come up out of the water.
Now, since this region is flat and has fertile soil, a lot of people who live in it farm for a living. They raise a variety of crops and livestock, and it's the only place in Kentucky where cotton is grown. Coal is one of Kentucky's most important natural resources, and this region produces half of the state's coal. You know, when you consider that Kentucky is one of the nation's top coal-producing states, you see why these coal fields are vital to the state's economy.
Nestled in the northern part of Central America, Guatemala is bordered by Mexico to the north, Belize to the east, and Honduras and El Salvador to the south. Its western coast borders the Pacific Ocean, and its eastern coast borders the Caribbean Sea. Like most other countries in Central America, Guatemala was a Spanish colony. Guatemalans gained their independence in 1821. In the old capital city of Antigua, you can see reminders of Spain's influence in the architecture, like this Catholic church. Guatemala is known for its coffee beans. Coffee plants thrive in altitudes of 2,000 to 6,000 feet and need about 60 inches of rainfall a year. Guatemala's high mountain ranges, running from east to west, high average rainfall, and rich soil provide just the right conditions for growing coffee plants.